the Teacups, and we're talking Guardians.
And Tower of Terror. Thanks so much for being in my video today. My name is Steve. This is my buddy. I try to keep my kids' privacy intact, so we generally don't put their faces or names on YouTube. We were just going to have you wear a face mask, but you said that you would prefer just to have your face blurred so you don't have to wear the face mask. Is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. That works for me. So, we're blurred. And now, guys, we are talking Tower of Terror and Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Both very similar rides. We're going to compare the two and kind of show you some of the differences, things that are the same between them, and tell you, should your little ones, who are just tall enough, ride this ride, or is it too scary? And I've got my expert here who can help us out with that. So, buddy, what did you ride? Did you ride both of these or just one?
Both.
Before we look at anything, what did you think? What did you think of Tower of Terror?
I liked Tower of Terror because I am very afraid of heights, and if you look at it correctly, when you go up on Tower of Terror, you don't really feel like you're that high up. And on Tower of Terror, you actually don't have as much of a, scary story. Really, intense story.
Okay.
That can really scare your little ones. It's basically a fun story that has all of this cool stuff. And then on Guardians...
Well, wait. Let me ask you about Guardians in just a second. First off, I really should have asked, how old are you right now?
Right now I am 7 years old.
How old were you when you rode Guardians of the Galaxy?
6.
And how old were you when you rode Tower of Terror?
I think it's 5, 6.
You were 5. So, that's cool. So now you've told us a little bit about the Tower of Terror, which is a Disney World in Florida. Now let's go off to Disneyland and Disney California Adventure in California. They have the Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout ride. What did you think about, or just tell us a little bit about the Guardians of the Galaxy ride?
So, with Guardians, you, have this thrilling story that, can get really actiony, and it's very more scary. And you can actually sense that you're, 10 miles from the ground. And if you're very afraid of heights like I am, you're like, ah! Somebody save me!
Okay.
In another way, the dropping actually goes faster than Tower of Terror. And it's more like scary dropping. And with all of the monsters included on that one, and when there's not any of that stuff, like that on Tower of Terror, that makes it even more scary.
You know, that's...
So, I actually heard my dad right here to, hold me, please, because I'm like, Dad, hold me, please, don't let me die.
Did you die, or was it nice and safe?
Oh, no, it was nice and safe. So just, what do you mean? Have your kids go on Tower of Terror, not Guardians.
All right. Well, we're going to look at a couple of things. First thing that I want to point out, were you tall enough for both rides?
Yes.
Yeah. Did we put anything in your shoes, like a bunch of paper or wrappers or anything in your shoes to make you taller than you were?
No.
No. Did we have you stand on your toes when they were measuring you?
No.
No. When we had you stand up, what did I ask you to do when you were standing up straight for them to measure you? Do you remember?
No.
No? Okay, yeah, because they didn't have to measure you last time, but you just put your feet together, stand up nice and straight, heels on the floor, feet on the floor, don't pad their feet, don't cheat the system, don't do any of that type of thing. This is for safety. Don't be like Chris Hemsworth.
Who's Chris Hemsworth?
Oh, he's the guy who did this to his daughter.
I took my daughter on it. She wasn't tall enough, and she was really upset. I was like, nah, forget this, come here. So I grabbed a couple of Snickers bars and things and slammed it in the back of her shoe, under her heel. So I propped her up, because it was like this, my shot. Walked up, was like, what about now? So, and they're like, okay, in you come. I'm like, so we're sitting in the chair, and this thing, it's, I don't know how many hundreds of feet high or whatever.
God.
We're at the top, and I'm looking at her, she's strapped in, and the seat is massive on her. And I'm like, we beat the system, honey, well done. And then it drops, and she's like, grab onto her, she's like screaming the whole way down, like, I was like, maybe there's a reason that there's a height
Maybe.
size.
Right, so actually, right after you rode both of these rides, I had you record a couple of things. Should we look at these just to kind of remind you what you thought right after you rode them?
Yeah.
All right, let's check them out. Here, watch this.
It took it slowly, and then my seatbelt was done, and I fell with it. It was really fun.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
All right, how many thumbs up?
One.
A little thumb up? Cool, dude. Were you scared?
No.
What did it feel like when you were going up and down?
Jumping in space and then flying to the right.
Yeah.
How do you get
Do you want to ride it again?
Yeah.
You do? So those are some of the things that you thought of. We took that was your first time riding Tower of Terror, and those were kind of your right away. You had just done it. That was exactly your thoughts. Do you still kind of think that? Is that still true? It's it's not scary. What do you think?
That is still true. The Tower of Terror is much more appropriate for kids than Guardians. And it was actually way more fun for me.
I also want to remind you what it is that you said right after you rode Guardians of the Galaxy. Is that okay? Okay. You're not getting bored with me, are you? So did you like the Tower of Terror better than this one?
Yeah.
Yeah? This is better or not better?
The story's better.
The story's better?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which one's faster?
This one.
Guardians is faster?
Yeah. And I don't like how fast it is.
Did you like getting to see everybody in outer space, though?
Yeah.
Did you fight a monster?
No.
Did the Guardians fight a monster? Okay.
Lots of more.
Oh, they fought lots of monsters. He did, huh? Rocket broke out of his cage?
And he tells us what to do.
That was nice of you to help. Did you have much of a choice?
No.
You so excited? No? Are you a little scared?
No. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And it's the scariest ride I've ever rode.
Oh, it is, huh?
It's actually the worst one I've rode.
Scarier than Dumbo? Scarier than Casey Jr.?
Yeah.
What? That's crazy. That's the scariest ride I know. Okay, knock knock.
Who's there?
An interrupting sloth.
An interrupting sloth too.
So now let's talk about your Guardians. You said something really interesting while we were watching that. Because I asked you when we were in line about to get on if you were scared. And in the video, you said no. But while watching the video, what is it that you said?
On the log part, I did get scared.
You did get a little scared. Now, we also want to point out, you rode this twice because we did a rider swap. So Mrs. Teacups rode with you first, and then I rode with you after that, right? So this is actually your second time riding Guardians of the Galaxy. We'll get to that in a second. So the second time, you were a little scared to get on it the second time, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because, listen, it actually kind of hurt.
It hurt a little. Tell me about that. Where did it hurt?
It, like, hurts your back.
It hurts your back? You also said something interesting. You said, and you've said it in this chat too, that Guardians is faster than Tower of Terror. Is that what you still think? I can't find any data on that at all. The little bits seem to say that their top speed is the same, but the actual in-ride I haven't measured. I haven't seen it measured actually in the ride anywhere. So let us know what you think down in the comments. Which one is faster? Is Guardians faster or is Tower of Terror faster? I'm not sure, so I want to know what you think. Let us know. What else do you want to tell us about Guardians? That was lovely.
Excuse me.
Now, another thing that I wanted to talk about is kind of the difference between the Tower of Terror and Guardians of the Galaxy. If you want a more in-depth about this, I'm going to record my thoughts in a later video. So hit the bell icon so that you don't miss that. You certainly don't want to miss it. But I want to talk about his perspective because we want to know if you as parents should let your little kids on the ride. How many times did you ride Guardians of the Galaxy?
Twice.
And did you ever ride it again? And did you ever want to write it again? No, so that was it. That was the limit, just 2. All right, now, how many times did you ride Tower of Terror? I think you rode it more than 2. Well, we went to Hollywood Studios 3 days. I don't know why I'm holding up 5 fingers. This is the number 3. We went to Hollywood Studios 3 days, right? And you went with me. And then you went with Mommy, because, again, we used the rider swap. And then there was a time when just you and me were together, and you rode it with me again, right?
Okay.
And then there was a time when you were just with Mommy, and you rode it again. Is it because Mommy wanted to, or because you wanted to?
Because I wanted to.
That's right.
And on the bucket list, I had Rocket Roller Coaster, and Tower of Terror. It was long, so we did Rocket Roller Coaster first, and then it was even longer. So I was like, I think we should go back in time.
You rode Rock and Roller Coaster like 2 or 3 times too, didn't you?
Yeah.
You rode it a lot. And Rock and Roller Coaster, it's a roller coaster in the dark, and it goes upside down like 3 different times. Had you ever been on a roller coaster that had been upside down before Rock and Roller Coaster? No? Had you ever been in a roller coaster in the dark before Rock and Roller Coaster? No? And you went on it 3 times, didn't you? It's an exciting interview. We do have a little bit of a Daredevil, just to kind of give you an idea of where that's coming through. Ultimately, I think you actually went on the Tower of Terror like 4 or 5 times. And you didn't want to ride Guardians anymore, so we didn't ride it the whole rest of the trip, including like the whole... I guess we rode it on the second day, didn't we? I don't think we rode that on the first day. I was a little sad because I like Guardians. Guardians is one of my favorite rides in the whole park. But that's okay. Different people like different things. And if you don't like Guardians, we're not going to make you go. So, final thoughts. Tell me about your final thoughts. Tower of Terror versus Guardians of the Galaxy.
And the winner...
Boo! It's that interrupting sloth. Least expect it. Last thoughts. I know the sloth kind of scared you a little. Last thoughts. Guardians of the Galaxy, Tower of Terror. Tell me, what should parents let their kids ride and why? All right, Tower of Terror.
And the winner is Tower of Terror.
Tower of Terror is the best. It's the better one, right?
Yeah.
All right. If parents are bringing their little kids, like your age, on Tower of Terror, what should they do?
They should hold them.
Now, what do you mean hold them? Do you mean like I'm gonna hold your shoulder down, or go around your back like that, or just like tap your head and just hope it all goes to plan, or what do you mean hold them?
I mean like hold them with both your hands on each leg. Reach,
both hands,
shoulder, whichever one is more comfortable on your kid, and have them hand hold on to the handlebars beside them.
Okay.
Other things that they could hold on to, because that should be the safest way to do it.
So parents hold on to a shoulder and a leg, and then kids hold on to the handlebars by your seat.
Both legs and both shoulders.
Okay, that's
what I actually mean.
okay. Now, do you think that when it's time for the picture, the kids and the parents should both put their hands way up in the air?
They can, but as soon as it flashes, do all of that over again because then
All right, so Tower of Terror is the winner for the little kids. Make sure that you're holding on to your kid on the ride. Now, as a parent, I've been on both of those rides many times. At no point was he in any actual danger of falling out of his seat. He was buckled in correctly. He was the correct height. He was totally safe at all time. If I hadn't been holding him, he'd have been perfectly fine. I want to point that out because some parents bring in their kids when they're not tall enough or anything, and you get by the safety thing. At no point was he actually in any danger whatsoever. He's totally fine. It's just for his comfort, and that obviously we want you to be comfortable when you're on a ride, especially a scary one, right? And that's fair. Let us know your experiences of bringing your kids or scaredy cat adults on these rides, on Tower of Terror or on Guardians of the Galaxy. We would love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. And other than that, guys, we have all kinds of new videos coming out. Subscribe, hit that bell icon down in the corner. You want more content like this helping you do Disneyland right. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for chatting with me, buddy. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys
next time we ride the Teacups.
Boo!